A wise old man lived in a village. One day, when he returned from a nearby town, he saw his house burning down. He loved his house deeply and had refused to sell it, even for double the price. Now, watching it burn right before his eyes, he stood helpless and devastated. Just then, his eldest son ran towards him and whispered, "Father, don't worry, I sold the house yesterday for 3 times the price." Suddenly, the father's sorrow disappeared, and his face lit up. "What, 3 times the price?" he exclaimed in surprise. The man, who had just been weeping over his burning house, now looked at it indifferently. It was no longer his house, so he didn't feel any pain. Moments later, his second son came running and asked, "Father, how can you stand there so calmly when our house is burning?" The father smiled and said, "You don't know yet, do you? Your elder brother has already sold it." Hearing this, the second son was shocked and replied, "Father, are you crazy?" "Yes, he sold it, but the deal wasn't finalized. The buyer hasn't paid us yet. Now that the house is burnt, why would he give us the money?" Suddenly, the father's joy vanished, and fear gripped him again. The same man, who had just felt relieved, was now trembling in panic. Tears returned to his eyes as he realized, the house is still mine. At that moment, his youngest son arrived and said, "Father, do you know how kind the buyer is? I just spoke with him, and he said, this fire was beyond anyone's control. You didn't set it intentionally, and neither did I expect this. A deal is a deal. I will still pay you the full amount. The house may be gone, but the land remains. I will build a new house." The moment he heard this, the father's sorrow disappeared again. Tears of happiness filled his eyes. But why? Because now, the house was no longer his problem. That's it. Again, the father's tears disappeared and he was filled with joy. But why? Because the feeling that this is mine has disappeared. So has the situation changed there? Nothing has changed. The point here is, what do we call suffering? It is not caused by circumstances that come from outside. In the process of facing them, it is caused by the thoughts that come from within us. It only comes from the opinions that are formed. So, we are not captives of circumstances. We are only captives of our thoughts that come from those circumstances. Finally, this entire world revolves around the single letter, my. The truth that one who fully realizes, no one in this world has the courage to stop his growth.